Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. You guys seem to have really been liking the first episode that I did on this game, Foundation. You don't remember from that episode or you're just joining us, I am playing this as more of a therapy game. So what that means is really I am taking my time and taking things slow, really immersing myself in the game. Not using fast forward and not really stressing about getting the tasks done. It really, game therapy is sort of a new method that's coming out, and games like Foundation or other open world games or easy kind of task-oriented games are really good for the use of therapy. So that's what we're using this one for. We're going to go ahead and continue and get back in here. I believe we left off, we had our manor created, fully built, yep, over here. So let's get in here. I love the music for it. Oh yes, and every time you come into Foundation, you do have to hit the play button. It doesn't automatically start playing. So we do have our manor set up over here, and I've given a lot of thought to sort of how I want to continue playing and sort of lay out here. Now I am noticing we have no immigration. Our employment is high, but happiness is not there yet. So we need refined food, we need more housing and services. So if you remember from the last episode, we unlocked the ability to have a church, which is what we're going to work on next. Hopefully my daughter stays asleep now that I'm talking and the TV's off. She's starting to stir. But we have three, I guess, little neighborhoods. So I'm thinking we're going to put the church over here for now. The church can be moved and can be upgraded. So, but I think this is a good spot to put our church. So let's go to build. And we want to go to services, to church. Right now, it's a nice wooden church that we can do if we want. Here. This is a nice sort of straight part to the road. So I'm going to try and line it up here. I love that you have all these different sub-buildings that you can put into a church, and it does tell you, I didn't point out with the manor, what is needed to actually have this to be a functioning building. So you need to have a tower, and it will snap right into place there. For now, I think I'm just going to leave it down at level 1. And we're going to use this door. We can move sort of the whole building. I want to back it up 1. No, we'll do that. And so it tells you capacity is 24 right now. We have a population of 25. So it's actually not big enough. So I genuinely like to use... Oh, and my daughter's awake. Alright, give me just a second. I will be right back. Why don't we go ahead and start building this, and then we can add on. You guys can watch this building process here. Go ahead and freeze that up. There. Tower. And you can see there is some fortification when you click on the tower to adjust it. That's the fortification zone for the tower. We'll put it there. And now actually that is a big enough church. So we'll go ahead and start building that, and I will be right back. Now I do see that we have some villagers don't have any more housing space, however. If you look here, housing is at -4, so as much as I like to take everybody in, I'll hold my horses right now, and I'm gonna wait and zone some more residential. I like having sort of these little neighborhood pockets. I want to keep this area open. So I think we're going to start playing this. We have a village fence to control movement. We have a wooden bridge, or we have all these extras here. So we've got clothing. We can improve our goods market, a stonemason hut, the ability to get tools, butchering, a village edict, storage improvements. We already did the lumber camp improvements, decorations, and farming. And I think to start with, let's see, we have, this takes gold. So I'm going to do the extended village edict, and then I'll show you guys where that's at. So let's close out of here, and if we go to our royal book, our edicts and privileges have edicts here. And so each of these is going to affect our little town. So we have bulk trade, so we can trade quantity, bonus of 80% from village with clergy, kingdom, and labor. Trade price bonus of -20. So we get more, but we have to pay more. Refund 50% of the tools used after constructing the building part. Decrease the cost of every mandate, decrease the time. Stonework promotion, but that's at the cost of our food, so right now we don't want to do that. Upkeep of production building parts are decreased by 50. So we're either going to do sturdy materials or careful planning first. And I'm going to go with careful planning because we can't build our tools yet. And that way we get some of that back. We do need more people, so once it says our housing isn't low, the next person who comes to move into our village, we will probably go ahead and add them because we're not fully staffed. Oh, and we've got a little book over here. Advice, edicts, and privileges. Villagers believe we have achieved enough prosperity to implement our very first edict. These are laws and policies that help you shape the village in new ways. Additionally, you can enable privileges, which are benefits granted by each of the estates. Once edicts and privileges are enacted, they must be revised with a mandate to be removed. Let's ratify the edict, and I already did it, so that advice is followed. Looks like we've got a lot of construction right now, so our woodworkers are hard at work. Oh, not there. But go ahead and shift our view a little bit. and just watch this get built and let our people wander. Well, actually, I gotta face it this way so I can see if a new villager comes in. So let's just zoom out here. Then we can see the houses, church, and our town center. looks like. We are almost done with this collecting taxes advice. Got another house being built here, and they're just waiting on 3 more wood pieces to complete our church. Now, I don't want to set up a whole bunch of housing, but for housing density, so that we can have more people in one area, we need light fortification and patrol coverage. That is something I do want to start working on. And so we're going to have to go to the progression menu. And fortification is here under village labor. So our manor house needs to have more splendor, or we need more splendor around the town. And if I'm not mistaken, beautification in itself, which is not an option yet, adds that. So I am going to unlock our beautification. And then come down here and take a look. Does not. Okay. Village advice. Let's decorate. Your villagers would enjoy decorations. They will increase the desirability of an area for better housing and also provide beautification, which improves your prosperity. So yes, we are going to decorate. But because I would like to try and get some fortification in on this, I'm going to come over to our manor house here and edit the building. And you can see here, this offers the splendor, that little green sort of thing. So decorating our manor house itself will get us splendor. Now we already have the weather vane, and we have this little hut here. We can add some decorative benches for people to sit outside. I like the ones with the backrests. I'm gonna look at it from the top. Sort of zoom in here. I'll place it by the front door. Angle. Okay. We'll put another one on this side. Let's move this closer. And apply all. Let's see what that does for our splendor as they get that built. And yay, our church is done. So, churches of the faith, words of your village's first church have reached the clergy. They appreciate your dedication to the faith and thus hold you in higher regard. Very well. All right. You can see our priest here, Anstrude. No, notice we can edit the names of our villagers as well as the names of the buildings. So if you guys have any ideas, go ahead and throw those down in the comments. We can do a video of simply editing some names here. I see a little exclamation mark up here, so what do we have? We can discuss levies and promote villagers to a higher status. I don't really want to do a levy right now. I just sort of want to see where we're going. Oh, what is this? We've got some people wandering around our village. Checking things out. Okay. Advice followed. The first coins have been collected. So our tax advice, it is important to remember that high taxes will eventually make your people unhappy. Yes. Yes, we know. Alright, meeting the elders. The elders, the much respected leading men and women among the region's laborers, heard of your village and wished to make themselves useful to your people. They brought welcoming gifts, mainly tools, to ease your villagers' lot, then pledged their assistance. Your support is much appreciated. Alright, and so notice here, we can hit that plus and we have all of these different resources down here, but we don't have any fish right now. And so I mentioned in my last one that if we go to the Royal Book and we go to our resources, we can unfavorite it, and now it disappears from the top. So fish isn't really something we need to watch at the moment. We're not currently making cloth, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that one. But the rest of it we are currently utilizing, so I'll keep those there for now. We also have an exclamation point down here, and that's simply because we haven't kind of hovered over all of the beautification that we can do around our village. Now that makes it look like we have looked at everything. Okay, and we can bring in 2 more villagers here, which I believe we still have space needed. And labor is needed somewhere, didn't we? Could be mistaken, yes. 2 for transport. We still have a house being built on this end. Stone is full. How about we look at what can be traded? So we can sell meat, which we don't have, cheese, wine, polished stone, gold ore, gold bar. Oh no, this is buying. Oh no, yeah, sell it. So we can't really sell anything right now, except for our planks, which we're selling when we have at least 10. Now that our big construction has slowed down, we'll start to have more planks being processed, and that should help increase our trade and get some more money into our coffers. Our splendor is at 3 right now, so we've got some things being built over here, so I'm going to focus on this side. Our weather main has been put up. The little out shed is still in the works, and it looks like we have a house right here that needs to be built. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and work on some beautification here. And since this is the entrance, let me see. This is the entrance to our manor house. I wonder, it's too far. It has to be at least this close. Well, we're going to hold that there. I kind of like that idea, and then we can sort of maybe make a garden or something off to this side. Alright, go ahead and close that up. That's just going to be a ghost there. But we will put a nice little archway headed in on the path that they use. That's 20 coins. It gets us some beautification. And we, the easiest way to complete beautification tasks, sort of the cheapest way, but it doesn't give you a ton of beautification, are these little bushes. We'll put a couple of bushes right here. Try and keep them on that path that they're on there. So that might change. This little house might come out here. So we may have to shift those around, but at least does the rose bushes. And you can see there's a path coming into our village as well. This is going to be the main path that all the couriers and those who are coming to our village use. I believe there's going to be a different path as they leave that will be developing. Alright, looks like our little out thing is set. So we've got now 9 splendor. Let's see what this courier would like. Advice: earning influence. An isolated community of fishermen is looking for a kind-hearted builder. They need help constructing a bridge to connect their village to the rest of the realm. They don't have much to offer, but they promise to spread the word about your generosity among the laborers. My best builders will draw you a blueprint. So it does show possible outcomes here. So influenced by your best builder, which is, we've got a level 4 builder. So 90% the blueprint is concise, 10% the blueprint is confusing, and we'll get some labor points for either one. So my best builder will draw you some blueprints. Influence earned. You helped the small community build a bridge, and they promised to spread the word in return. So now we got 10 labor influence for that. 10 labor influence, however, and there is a in labor influence cap. So the influence gained beyond the cap will naturally decrease down to this value. Splendor increases the influence cap of its estate. Influence cap ranges from -50 to 50. Alright. And so we do need more splendor before we're able to unlock this fortification. Which means we have to add more in here for our little hut. But let's allow everything else to finish being built and allow our wood to build back up here before we do so. And I'm gonna travel over here because I think... Alright, so we're not totally full on berries. Okay, we've got good storage there for the 2, and there's still plenty of storage there. Now you can change your bell's tempo, count, start delay. You can even change the bell pitch. I rather like the pitch that it was at. So we're going to keep it there. Now I am noticing though, we have 29 villagers and this church only has a capacity of 30. So we will have to consider adding on to our church as well. We definitely want to build up our resources real quick before we try and do that, because right now we have no wood, which means our carpenters can't make planks. So perhaps what we're gonna do is come here. Oh, we can get some splendor by adding some of these decorations, but also we can increase the number of people that we can have working here. Let's add a nice stew pot. I don't like taking away the space there. But we gotta make sure that they can continue to reach the wood pile. Looks like we can place you here and they'll still be able to get in both places. So I'm gonna place that there. I'm going to add a little, oh, let's do this one. turn it. New. There's stuff on both sides of it? No. Okay. Put you back in here off the path. To apply those so we can get some more woodcutters, and look at that. Alright, food diversity. Your villagers are very grateful for the food you provided them, yet they wish their larder had more to offer. They would greatly appreciate it if you were to give them a second source of food. Definitely something we're going to work on. I love the farming aspect in this. I think it's so cute, so I'm probably going to unlock that. But let's allow our our woodcutters camp here to be improved. And I'm probably temporarily going to relocate builders' huts back over here because this is where we're building right now. That way they don't have so far to go. Let's watch them work. Question mark pop up. Let's see what this is. Another influence offer. The fishermen are thankful for the blueprint, as a bridge will help bring their community to the forefront, as thanks they would like to trade a fair number of fish for some of your stone. Alright. So they want 25 stone for 50 fish, and we gotta put the stone in our storage. I think we can handle that. So, over here. Stone. And each of these slots holds 100. So our laborers, they'll start moving stone over. And once we have the appropriate number of stones, we can send that and get some fish. That's a nice little cheat if you're not sure what buildings are still missing people. Go to your buildings tab and you can add them right from here. Remember, it is going to pull the closest workers in. And then if you hit the drop down, you can unassign people as well. So like if you've got people who are closer, you can reassign them. I'm not going to worry so much about our builder. Now we have 50 in there, and we can confirm that. Send that. And let's assign a fish here. That's where they go. I do see we have 2 people who would like to move in. However, I've noticed our housing is at -2, which means we don't have any more space for housing. So I am going to just let them move on, let another village take them over. I am increasing our church so that we have enough for all the population that we currently have. And we still need more splendor over here. So I am going to apply that, have that added as well. Alright, so I've just repainted a couple of our zones. Noticed that our woodcutters were out of areas to cut down wood. Our church is now expanded, so if we click on this, it has a capacity of 55 people that can attend the church. We have a population of 35, so we're good there. We've got a couple more villagers that I allowed to come into the village, and so I'm making a little like residential zone here, and then I'm thinking for future growth we're gonna put farming here and go this way with our farming, and then have the like processing for the farms in this area. So that's why I started painting, to get rid of the trees over here and start processing those. I like to have farms near my manor, so we may even stretch some farming this way when we unlock that section. And the farming is going to be the refined food that this food diversity quest wants. Again, we'll get to decorations. I'm not too worried about those at the moment, but we do still have some to complete this advice. I will also make this residential zone a little bit more because we've got this nice giant mountain here. And as we continue going, we can mine these areas, and we're going to need a lot of people for that. And so, sort of planning ahead, I'm going to have some residential this way to handle all of the employment that that's going to need. Again, I want to put our monastery up on this plateau, so that is yet to come in future videos. But in order to, wrong one, we need the progress menu. In order to get that fortification that we still want, we are at 16 splendor, so I do need to increase the splendor. I'm going to work on the manor house a little bit more here before we end this video, and I'm going to go ahead and unlock, well, I don't want to unlock the farming because adding splendor to the manor house is going to cost me some money, so let's add that splendor, because the fortification is going to allow us to increase the density of our housing, so we don't have to keep spreading, and we can kind of keep things a little refined. So I'm going to work on that. That's going to end our video as I get that set up. We'll see it all pan out in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I super appreciate it. If you like these videos and you want to see more of them, be sure to hit that subscribe button. The bell notification will let you know when I upload another one, and hit a like. That'll let YouTube know to spread this video so more people can see it. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.